Recently I noticed my YouTube sub counter went to 0, and so did everyone else's apparently. And these sub counters use Brian Lough's YouTube API wrapper, where we can go in and get the subscribe count over Wi-Fi. I have a couple of sub counters, both running on ESP8266 with a WeMOS D1 Mini. One of them uses an 8-digit 7-segment display, and here's my original project sketch for this using this API. Pile of Stuff found out that this account on GitHub has forked that API wrapper, and a couple of days ago there's a change to one of the source files. So if I dig down into the YouTube API CPP file, the original in this section has expanded to add this stuff in the middle. I don't know if there's other changes, I just noticed this at a glance. I have no idea what this does to fix it, but I got it working. So the first thing to note is when installing the YouTube API library, if we go to Include Library and then Manage Libraries, when we search for the YouTube API, we just have access to the old one. What I wanted to do is download this zip file of this modified version of the library, save it somewhere. Then if we go back to the IDE, Sketch, Include Library, and Add Zip Library, if we go to the location where we downloaded this newer library and install that, for me at least, doing that alone didn't really work because it installed it in a different folder in the Arduino IDE libraries path. So I just opened up the folder directly where the Arduino IDE libraries are installed, and I deleted both copies. One of them was here, the other one was down here. It was called maybe YouTube API. Then I went and added the zip library that I had just downloaded, and then I knew that's the only copy I had. But in addition to that, there was another problem, and it's the same problem I had back originally when I tried to get this project working. I could only get certain combinations of installed ESP8266 board files and other libraries to work, and this is what I'm currently using. The biggest problem for me has been this board file. If I use anything higher than version 2.4.2, and if I go to the boards manager, the ESP8266 board manager goes up to 2.7.1 right now. Any of these version 2.5.0 and up give me trouble. I get all kinds of errors. I think it's got to do with Python 3 and things like that, and I cannot seem to solve it. I'm on a Mac. I don't know what to do with it, but when I go back to version 2.4.2, it seems to work better. I should update this YouTube API info to this link. And the other one that gives me trouble is the Arduino JSON. If I'm using anything above version 5, I get errors when I'm compiling. One of the errors specifically said, I think it was something to do with some buffer thing, and it looks like I'm calling something from a version 5. So I said, fine, what's the latest version 5? Here it is. Everything then worked. So with all of these versions of everything installed, and using D1 Mini, I'm set up with this board. These settings I just didn't touch, and I choose whatever port that shows up. When I upload this, now it works. So now I'm going to open up my other project with my scrolling sign. Now that I have this new library, all I should have to do is compile it, and it should work. Well, all right. Thanks Brian Lough for creating this API wrapper in the first place. Thanks to Jonny for updating it. Thanks to Pile of Stuff for letting me know this happened. And if anyone knows, what can I do to get that board file issue resolved so that I can actually get board files later than 2.4.2 to work, or how to fix the Python 3 issues with Mac at least? Leave a comment. I'm sure there's a lot of people that probably are all tangled up with this mess, but this worked for me. Hopefully it helps a couple of other people get up and running for now at least. Thanks for watching.